Hey guys, so it's bench build day today. Managed to secure about 12 feet by 8 feet in the back of my basement that the wife allowed me to commandeer from the TV area. So I spent the morning clearing it out, laying down some of this 2 feet by 2 feet spongy tile stuff to protect the floor that's down there, because it's hardwood floor and I don't want to ruin it with dropping solder on it. So I've completely covered that area with tiles, and what I wanted to share with you was actually building the bench itself. Now, what did I decide to do with the bench? I mean, I could have gone and bought one, but if you look at Element 14 and stuff, they're about $1,000, and that's just for a kind of a small one, unless you really want to get a cheap one, which is, you know, a few $100. So what I did was quickly put some plans together and went down to the local hardware store and bought some lumber and just built my own. Took me about an hour and a half to actually assemble it. Needed some major cuts on some plywood, so the local hardware store, they kindly will do a few cuts for you for free, and they have the big saws to do it nice and straight and everything. So I decided to have a 3/4 of an inch thick maple veneer surface plywood for the main bench, and also use the same kind of plywood for shelving, which I haven't built yet, but I'll put that in another video. So the size I decided to go for was really based on the materials that were available and what I wanted to build, and also cost. I wanted to keep the price down at a reasonable level. It needed to be big and functional, so this is what I ended up going for. The plywood comes in 8 feet by 4 feet lengths, so I got ×2 of those. And what happens is I got one of them trimmed down to 36 inches deep, which is your typical workbench for labs and things like that. So that left me with a 12-inch piece. So I've got my bench top is going to be 8 feet by 33 feet, and I've got a 12-inch high piece that I'm going to run down the back once I do the shelving, to use for screwing down power sockets and things like that, so that they're not just hanging loose. It also provides a bit of a barrier at the back of the bench so you don't accidentally shove things off the back. The other things I went to look for was, originally I was going to build the base out of pine, but I found that that was quite expensive. Just a 8-foot 2x4 was about $10 or $15 for pine. But if I went for something like Poplar, which, you know, it's a bench, it's even Poplar's going to be strong enough, it was going to cost me about $2.70 for a 8-foot 2x4. Now they've got rounded corners on them because they're usually used for studs and things like that. So for my legs, because I was going to join them into a L shape for stability and also to make it bigger surface area to screw the bracing onto, then I ran it through my table saw. Just it took about 1/8 of an inch off of one side to make it nice and square when I screw it together. So I ended up with about 10 lengths of that. I actually got to get a couple more because I'm going to use some for the shelving, which I'm going to run some 2x4s about 6 feet high off of the back legs of the table. Then I can screw some bracketing onto that, but you'll see that in the next video. So my table is going to be, as I said, 8 feet wide, and it's going to be, I'll draw it from the top right now, so it's going to be 8 feet by 3 feet. This is probably not to scale, so don't worry. I got a very thick piece of Poplar, which was 8 feet by 6 inches, no, yeah, 6 inches, and it was by 2 inches. So this, what I wanted is something at the front of the bench that's going to be very strong. I wanted to set back the lip of the bench by about 6 inches so that I could get my legs under there and not be banging into the front rail or anything. So what I have is this 2 inches thick, try to get my lines drawn, and that is the one that's going to be the 6 inches deep. I then also had on the back end a 2x4, same length, as a back support for the shelf. So obviously I'm screwing down onto the 2-inch and it's 4 inches deep. And then on the sides I've got a 2x4 as well running down this side and this side to provide end support for the table. Now I set it in slightly actually, so let me just, no, I'll leave that there and just extend the table. So my table actually, I left a 4-inch edge on the edge of the, on either side. Alright, so this is 96 inches from here to here. That's your standard size of your plywood. And the actual stand underneath is 88 inches. Okay, and then this internal piece, because you've got the 2 inches of the front and rear wood, this is actually ending up being 28 inches. So this ends up 28 plus 2 plus 2 is 32 inches. That leaves me 4 inches on the front, alright, and a nice 4 inches all the way around. So that's pretty good. Now what did I do for the legs? Again, I just used some 2x4, and what I did was one piece goes this way on the inside of this and the other piece is here, and then I screwed this in securely on each one. So this would be here like this, going straight down, of course. Same here, and then the same here. Now the reason I did it this way and not put the legs on the outside is because it gives me a big surface area for screwing screws into to make it very, very robust. So that ends up being the table base is basically 32 inches by 88 inches. My tabletop is 96 inches by 36 inches. And if I do the front view from this, what I end up with is the tabletop, and then just set in, I've got the legs coming down. So of course I've already said this is actually, this height here is 35 inches, and this is 3/4 of an inch. So it's just shy of 36 inches. Make that a quarter, not an eighth. And then the front rail, I don't have anything coming across it, so I can get my legs in without a problem. What I've got though is running to the back is a bottom stay. So if you think of the table kind of being like this, alright, I've got the rear leg coming down here. So I've got a beam coming across at the bottom, as well as the one, of course, that's running on here. And you've got a beam running across here on the outside edge, and one running across here. So there'll be a leg down here as well. Okay. And then what I did at the bottom to add some extra strength was ran a 2x4 across the back, and of course you've got the 2x4 running underneath the table. If I extend this up a little bit, you would have it running underneath the table at the back here. Alright, so that makes a really, really strong table. I mean, I could get up on top of that and jump up and down and it wouldn't be an issue. What I'm going to do, I also, by the way, put an extra piece up the middle, just a 2x4 sitting on the inside of this brace here, to add a bit of extra support in the middle at the back, because there is only a 2x4 at the top, not a 2x6 that I had at the front. And what I intend to do for shelving is I'm going to run another 2x4 on the back of this all the way up, and it's going to, because I didn't extend the shelf, sorry, the main table over the back, I will extend, let me just erase that, I will extend the 2x4 up to about 7 feet tall on the 3 places here and on this end. And then I'm going to put some of this slot racking stuff that you know, you can actually put these angle shelving things on. That will be about 16 inches out from the back, and then I can run a shelf on here. Alright, and then one part way down as well. My scale's a little bit off here, but you get the idea, I think. Alright, so this bottom one I can put my instruments on, and then the top one I'll be able to put my you know, spare parts, canisters, maybe some instruments I'm not using very often, and things like that will be on the top. But because I've ran this down to the back legs and there's so much support and weight here, this will easily be able to take the weight of it, and if necessary I can put an extra piece of reinforcing wood in front of this just to give it that extra bit of strength. As I said, when I do this on the next video, you'll see how I construct that. But for now, the video I'm about to show you is a time-lapse, well, it's the full video, but I'm going to speed it up, of building this main base. So as I say, it's going to be 8 feet wide, it's going to be 36 inches deep, and you can probably pile it up with all sorts of crap, and it'll take pretty much anything you could put on it. Okay, so here's the video. Hope you like it. And with luck, you know, if you've been considering building your own bench, this will also show you how easy it is to do it and motivate you actually to go and do your own.
your life. Now look where you are. We are stronger than ever. Taking the water that is Julie Clark's research. We can use this power where easy fits. Now, using build is almost over. Try to be there. I invite you to take your gun, put it in your mouth, and go there.